Mishashali Spal Mincha Be'er Shabbos Ad Shekiblo Kal Shabbos. Someone is running late, which happens sometimes in their Shabbos, until, and the Tzibur is starting to Kabbalah Shabbos. So lo Ispal Mincha Ba'oisa Beis HaKnesses. You run into shul, 3 minutes for Shkia, and they started. There's a shayla whether L'chun Rama is Kabbalah Shabbos. They definitely bring down the Chadoidi, Boichala is definitely Kabbalah Shabbos, means Vashir is Vadai. Kabbalah Shabbos, even Boichala is Kabbalah Shabbos. I don't think L'chun Rama is, so generally shuls don't start Kabbalah Shabbos only a few minutes before Shkia, so usually, it's, I don't know if you want to L'chun Rama, I don't know. It's still better that if you want to daven mincha, you spell mincha b'oisa beis haknesses. Don't daven mincha inside. You spell tefillah shachol. You go outside, daven in the side room, whatever. But who should keep Shabbos Sivan? He didn't walk in and start singing Boi B'Shalom, whatever. Well, in honor of Kibul Shabbos Sivan, any achal yispal tefillah shachol. It's too late. Elo yispal arvi shtayim. He missed mincha. I don't know about why. Question. I don't know. I wasn't sure if a person's in the house and the wife is, and he realizes, oh my gosh, I forgot to have a mincha in 2 minutes for shkia, and his wife lit candles already. Can he have a mincha in the house? Does he have to go to a different room? I'm not sure because he wasn't so kabel with the neighbors. So I'm not sure if there's a steer over there. I'm suffering. He comes to shul right before Kabbalah Shabbos, Matzil Yispalel Mincha. He's allowed to daven Mincha. V'odu Mispal Yikabel Tzibur Shabbos Emikach Klum. Right, he shows up, 5 minutes before Shabbos, davens a Gezunta Shmon Esrei, half hour Shmon Esrei with Kavana, and the Seder. He doesn't have to stop in the middle. Hoil Hitzkel Beheter, even if they're saying Kabbalah Shabbos. Yesh oimrim shemishi kiba alav Shabbos kodem shechashecha. Some say if he's v'kal Shabbos early, mutu lomer yisel chaver lasas lo malacha. There's no such thing as a mirror Yisrael. You're allowed to tell him, can you switch this light on? Can you do this? Can you do that? You are allowed to. You're allowed to tell him. Haga umutu lahanas yosem malacha b'Shabbos. And the Ramah points out that unlike Amir La'akum, you're allowed to get hana from this on Shabbos. There's no problem. Kol shekem Motzei Shabbos, unlike by there's Gzeira Amir La'akum, because you're going to start, telling him to do malacha all the time. But if you kabel Shabbos early to say something to another Jew is fine. Misha ma'acher lispal Motzei Shabbos. Who are they? And so let's say someone keeps a tam or has a long shal shudis or shabam shechsiros of a laila, or he until the Rebbe's tish until 2 a.m, for shalashidis, right? Mutalom chaver yisrael shekvar hispalel. He could tell his friend, who already died, who already said Havdalah, whatever. V'hivdi lasas lo malachto iladik lo neres luvashelo. Right? Let's say the Rebbe's tish, you want someone to take pictures, or I don't know, or you have a big long shalashudis. You can tell, okay, take pictures, take this, record. You'll be allowed to do that, or to light neighbors, or let's say you want, it's long shalashudis here. Let's cook up some steaks. You'd be allowed to do that. However, if a person said in the middle, then he wouldn't be allowed to say Ritzei. I remember hearing a story about the Orach Chaim HaKadosh, who, I don't know the exact reason why, but it had to do with, I didn't want to let the Neshamas go down to Gehenna or something, I don't remember. So he was mamshich his Shal Shudis for, I don't know, it was like 2 days or something like that. So finally,
the mother.
They
put him in jail. The mice is they put the Orach Chaim in jail because the Orach Chaim came. He didn't tell anyone he was Orach Chaim, and every time they said the name Torah, the Orach Chaim, he said, he's a Gornish. The Rav said, you say it one more time, I'm going to put you in. They put him in jail, and he didn't end Shabbos. And so that night, someone came to the Rav in the dream and said, you crazy? You put the Orach Chaim in jail. We can't open the gates of Gehenna. The whole world's going to go out. And so he quickly ran the Kehillah. He got the Orach Chaim.
He was not sure something like that. So whatever. Alright, Reish Samach Daled. Ein oisim psila l'ner shel Shabbos. We don't, this is talking about the less nogea. That's not the clues of nogea. We don't talk about what you can use for wicks or not. Or shemen. Ein oisim psila l'ner shel Shabbos. We don't make a psila bein ner shel shulchan, bein ner shel kol ner shemadlik b'bayis. Because again, there's two inyanim. There's an inyan like lighting neirs by the table that you eat with light, and there's an inyan of shalom bayis that you don't trip around the house. Midavar sha'ur eina nechaz boy, something which doesn't catch the fire well, and it flickers a lot. El nitzvach seviva, it goes around it. Shahabes profetzes, it flickers. In tzemer v'seyar chiyotze behem. Because when it doesn't light well, so you might come to go ahead and to try to fix it, and you come to be mavir. There's something which catches fire well. From pishtan, the frutza, they get changed, different types of linen, some geffen, or cotton, cannabis, man. If you tackle lit with a wick which wasn't good, also you can't use that light, since you might come to try to fix the nair. If there's, as long as there's one nair which is a good nair, and you can go, because you're also using that. So even that's flickering, you have a good steady light. Below nair, if you need to do something, it doesn't need diktor, so if you just walk into a room and you just need a little bit of light so you don't trip, that's okay. That in these cases, if you don't have anything else and it's too dark in the room and whatever, so then you can go ahead and use the nair, or if there's another nair, things like that. You shouldn't, but it's okay. Karach davar shemadlikim bo. If you wrapped, if you took wool and you wrapped cotton around it, if the point of doing that was to make the wick thicker, also you might make it thicker to add, so it would be a stronger flame. That's also because it's not gonna tofes well, and it's gonna flicker. So shaushel lamata, if you just want to make it stand straight, mutter. Since you want to go ahead and you want to be able to keep it, make a long wick that if you want to be able to stick it inside the lantern, and you need if it keeps them flopping down, you can't do that. So you're allowed to wrap it around something solid. You're allowed to put these things in melach, whatever, in order to make it light better. That's okay. You don't light nair on Shabbos only with the shemen, which gets sucked up by the wick. You can't pitch or Vaseline or anything like that. Not with wax. That's not on the candle over here. You're talking about if you have a bowl of solid wax with the wick, it doesn't get drawn up. We're not talking about a candle. We're talking about you have a bowl of it and there's a wick sticking out from the side. And not with shemen, which is like, I don't know, cottonseed oil or something like that. I don't know. It's very thick. A little bit alya, a little bit chaylev, which is when it's solid. You can't light be'itra me'sharecha rav. Kind of a yetze. You can't light with anything which has a very strong, very bad smell, because there's only so much you can be sovel, and you'll have to leave the house. And that was like with tzari, a farsimon, because it smells very good. Because maybe you're going to go ahead and it smells so good, you're going to take a little bit out of the thing, and you're going to be chayiv because of mechaber. Would you be allowed to use scented candles? I don't know. Because you don't take, no one takes the wax out of the scented candle to go ahead and smell. So it's different. It may be a different issue than oil. I feel also ma'at shemizayis b'shmanim. Even if you put a little bit of olive oil in with these chaylev, whatever it is, and therefore it gets softer and it does get pulled up. You still can't because it's still not. Has to be something which gets absorbed well, and maybe you'll forget to put the shemen zayis in, and then it won't get, and then you come to make a mistake. Chaylev mahutach b'kirvei dagim. You have melted fat or fish oil. You shouldn't light with them. But if you put in some olive oil in, here it's mutter because since technically, dissolved fat or fish oil does get pulled up by a wick. So technically it's mutter because for geyser, because maybe you'll use chaylev, which is hard. So, however, if you put shemen zayis in, so then it's enough to say, okay, fine, not geyser in that case. Shar kol hashmanim chutz me'elu. I'm thinking about any other shemen, canola, safflower, I don't know, all these different things that you can light with them. Kol makom shemen zayis mitzvah min hamuvchar. However, shemen zayis is mitzvah min hamuvchar to light with, there are people who are mahader to try to light with the shemen zayis for many different reasons. Obviously, other stuff is also fine, but there is a special mitzvah to light with shemen zayis. Karach zefes or shava chaylev something of psila. But then what happens if you take shava, which you said is not good, but you wrapped it around wicks, because that's called a candle. So even if you use zefes, you use shava, whatever you use, and you make a candle out of it, so then that's okay. The problem is if it's in a bowl and you stick on the side of wick, that will be a problem. But if you go ahead and let's say even if you have a bowl, but you put it's surrounding a wick in the middle, that's a normal candle and that's mutter. Hamadlik tzarich sheyadlik rov ma sheyotze min hapsila mehener. When your wife lights the candles, she has to be sure that when she lights that it catches on the wicks well, that it really catches on it before she moves on to another one. Ein tzarich lahaveg hapsila. You don't have to pirish. Hivu yipol adavar she'ino nisraf lagamri gamol kayim lagamri. You don't need to go ahead and to light the wicks beforehand, and then blow them out. Na is a little bit cooked. The minhag is that the husband should go ahead, obviously if he has time, and but he should, when he sets up the lechter, to light the wicks beforehand, so that it catches well. And whether you don't say with nowadays with the wax around and whatever, it could be, because it's only the other works. If you don't, then it starts to shed and then it lights well. Having the wax around it also makes it light well. It could be Yotzei with this, I don't know, but still, an Indian to prepare the wicks.
So you don't light them when the husband prepares them. Does he light them and wave them out?
Yeah, he does. That's what I'm saying, yeah. That's the minhag. That's the minhag.
He lights them
and blows them out. Right, raise them out, whatever. Yeah, blowing to finishing. Right. You should not use rags, pieces of clothing, or whatever to go ahead and make wicks out of it because it doesn't catch well. And you shouldn't use old gross ner cheres that's really full of like black and whatever. But even if your glass cups, I guess, are still a bit dirty, it's still obviously you should clean them, but it's not as bad as cheres, which is full of sludge and whatever. Okay. Ain't noisin kli menukov malay shemen al pi haner k'dei she'enoite f'seicher. Right. So you shouldn't put a kli which take a kli with a hole in the bottom full of shemen that drips into the bowl of the nair so that it will constantly refill the nair. Gzeira shemen yistapik mimenu v'yischayev b'shem mechaber. So gzeira, maybe you'll take from that shemen and you mekarev the kibui, which is aser. And there are different. There is a machlokes about melachas kibui, whether it's only machlokes in the Gemara about kibui. Is kibui a malacha that's kilkul, or is kibui a malacha which is only if you have a tikkun, meaning you want the pecham, you put it out because you want the pecham. So Avada, according to the Shita, holds it's kibui is a malacha. So this is mamish a problem. This is like could be shayla v'chatas. But Mishabur places say even according to Mada Amar that it's only also because it's their kilkul. There's still a bunch of still glazer not to do it out to regular kibui. And im chibro lo, or it's a rabbanon kibui. Im chibro lo besid or b'charis is mutter. However, if you make a nair with a refillable gypsum and it's attached. Mutter the kibun shu kli echad badu mine shu isu Shabbos, right? If you put like a stam bowl full of olive oil, then okay, I need some for the salad. Others over there, it's clean, it's fine. I'm gonna take some. That's the problem. However, if it's attached, it's one there. You're like, hey, what is it? That's milk, so you don't want to touch it. So you're masculine, so you won't touch it. Lo yimale adam kara shem v'inen b'tzad haner v'yidim rosh hapsila b'seicha. You should not fill a bowl of shemen next to the nair, and you put then you put like one other psila inside to draw from one to the other. The shvil shetei shoaves, so it draws oil from one bowl to the other. There shem yistapik imenu. Again, maybe you're going to go ahead and take the same type of idea, is that you're going to take from the other bowl and then gorem a kibui quicker, because really it's not a gram kibui, it's not because that's. But it's a kibui derabbanan, because when you mekarev the kibui, mekarev it to go out quicker, so then that's called kibui. That's called putting it out. That's why for example on a Shabbos clock you can't go ahead and if it's you can't go ahead and say push down some buttons or it should shut off quicker, because that's not kibui. Ein noisen kli b'Shabbos tachas in there. The next issue is you can't put a kli on Shabbos underneath the candle. L'kabel shemen hanoitif, to catch the oil that's dripping out. Because that's called vato kli meichano. So there's different understandings of vato kli meichano. Here is one of the places it talks about it. It does talk about it. He'll smoke some more, but the Shitas Rashi is that it's seiser, that you're mamish over on seiser, you're destroying the kli. Since you're putting something muksa in, he says kli is glued to the floor. You can't use the kli for anything else. It's seiser. Others just say is that it's mitam basis, it's muksa.
You're making it muksa.
Yeah, you're making it muksa. That's a different issue. Rashi says mamish it's seiser, which is interesting, but al-Kulpanim, so that's called vato kli meichano. We'll have to get into the shayla vato kli meichano about putting a bucket under a leak, under air conditioner, under using a towel to wipe stuff out. These types of things are a shayla about because now it's muksa, you can't use it. So we'll have to get into more later. However, you could put a bowl there from before Shabbos, shemen noitev. You're allowed to put it before Shabbos, because the bowl comes muktzah, but that's okay. But shemen hanoitev also they stop him in Shabbos, because that shemen is muktzah. Hagava also liga benera dolik kishu toloi, and you're not allowed to touch a swinging, let's say a candle. I don't know about a candle. I'm not sure, because that's not. Let's say with an oil in there. Because then you shake the oil around and it causes it to absorb better.
It could also cause it to get extinguished.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I think it's more the shaila of shemayata of yata that he turned and makes it burn brighter.
Longer?
Yeah, because kibui is a shaila is
similar to the old-fashioned lanterns where they turn the dial and then they raise the actual nair up.
No, so this is different. This is if it's swinging. This is different than the kuda. If it's swinging and you touch it, so then it starts swinging. Actually, in the shir he mentioned about an egg. you're allowed to touch, an egg that rolls. So here also something hanging, muktzah, which is hanging, it's also to touch, because if you touch it, it starts swinging. So here it's even worse, because here it's a shaila of havara. Right? And so, as they point out, that really muktzah also is also to do that. If you have a hanging phone, I don't know, whatever it is, you touch it, that's also, but here, so it's even worse because it's like you said, either because of Ma'aber or because of, like you said, it could go out, these types of things, so therefore it's usher to go ahead and to touch it. And he brings that the gra is also machar by candle as well, because the hanging candle as well. There is the idea of yata by by a candle, but the Mishabur himself says Eishachalik me'ataya the sham who ois v'kavan asrili the shayach gam kem b'shava. The Gra holds there is shayach if you go ahead and start playing around with the candle to make the wax go onto the thing better. So that is yateh, but the Mishabur says a swinging candle you don't have to be choshish for that. It's only if you're the chavana you're trying to make the melted wax burn better. But here if you do a little kavana, it's okay. Notice in kli tachas and there the kabbalah tzaitzis, you can put a kli under you're worried that it's sparking, you don't want things to catch fire, so you're allowed to put a kli there to catch the sparks. Doesn't since when they hit the kli they go out, it doesn't make it into muktzah. But you can't put water in that kli. If they should mekarv zman kibui hanitzaitis, because when it hits the kli, it goes out, but it's there for a split second, whatever. But when it goes in the water, it goes out immediately. So then that's the mekarv kibui, and that's a problem. Merely before
Shabbos you would be able to.
He says no. So that's the chiddush over here.
That before Shabbos you would not be able to.
Right. That's the Mishmur says Avogad B'Shar Malachas Chaim al Deshari. Right. Hacha Yesh Lochas Shem Yachshav She'ein B'Zeh Shum Iser. It's another. It's one of these gzeras that such a kal. You might think it's what to do on Shabbos. You may come to make to switch. It's not a deraisa, but it's a gzera. If you and you're allowed to put in the bottom. You want to put water in the bottom of the. Say using oil to light, and you want to raise the level of the. You don't want to fill the whole thing with oil because it'll be on to the morning. So you want to go ahead and raise the level, but if it's too far down, it won't light. You want to raise the level of the oil, that's okay. So even a person that's kavanah that he's going to go out, and he doesn't want. Okay, we have to be sure your candles when you get back. But let's say you light and you're going to go out for a walk after, and I don't know, and you don't want to leave it, on. So you stick the water there because you feel comfortable that it's going to go down and go out very quickly. It's the Maral says that would be mutter. And let's say you have a fire and it's pretty safe, but so you want to put you put water around it, if it's on the thing and it's not anything dangerous, but you don't want it to eventually spread, whatever the case is, result shayla sakana. So then that's mutter macham seda if it's going to ruin something, but it's akopanim, it's that's okay. We'll start the next siman. Someone's coming, he realizes he's late for Shabbos and he's walking in and it's carrying whatever, there's no eruv, so what should he do? So Mishaya Bava Derech Akidish Alav Hayayim Hayayim and he's carrying money, he's carrying his phone, whatever he's carrying, Yeshlo Chamoro, and he has a donkey with him. Gam Yeshimo Ene Yehudi, and he has a goy walking with him. Lo yaniach kiso al chamoro. Don't put the kisui on the keys on his wallet or his phone on the chamor. V'deishu mutzuva shvisasa. It's the mutzuva shvisas behema. So therefore, even if he's carrying, it's also aser. Noisin kiso leina Yehudi. Better to give it to the goy. The licholo say Shabbos lo kol b'menu. As long as you're not choishish, she's going to take it, but that's a different thing. Even if you didn't pay him for it. If you realize it got dark, you have to even get it to him after dark. However, if you're walking in the streets and you find, $100 bill on the floor, you can't, pick it up and give it to a goy. Hashta have a kikisoi. So a few nakudas just to finish off with. The reason why it's mutter to go ahead and to give the thing to a goy and different things, all the heter of this is because of person's bala mamono, and if you don't give him an option to go ahead and to, he has a wallet full, he has $10,000 in his pocket, whatever it is, he's going to carry it. He doesn't know what to do, he's going to carry it. So therefore, there are certain heterim in that case to go ahead and to give it to a goy, or we're going to see on a donkey, we're going to see, different things about whatever, but there's no heter on Shabbos for a mitzvah, that's like a din on Shabbos. But again, if also who did, if let's say he drove to the house, things like that, when he gets to the point where it's mutter, these didn't apply as well. I also like to get into, if I can, about try to work on it, about if someone, driving and realizes Shabbos happened, so what are you allowed to do? Because it's the same type of idea, or whatever. We'll have to get into that.
And just to clarify, it is perfectly permitted for all Jews, according to Shulchan Aruch and the Rama, to add water before Shabbos to their oil candles, which will raise the oil in the fire, and it is assumed that this is the primary or secondary reason. It's also quoted in Mishnah Berurah, Piskei Teshuvos, Or Letzion, and Halacha Brura.